Howdy, this is Mr. Justice. In this explainer video, I'm going to show you how to do the math behind Population Math Practice 2 of 2. Let's get started here with problem number 1. Let's take a look. It says, if a country has or was doubling its population every 60 years, what is its growth rate? Let's do it. Let me just label this problem 1. This is a doubling time question, but in this case, we know what the doubling time is at 60 years. And so we kind of have to reverse engineer and go back and figure out what the growth rate is, right? Solve for R. So recall that doubling time is equal to 70 divided by the growth rate. In this case, the doubling time is 60 years is equal to 70 over R. One little step that you can do to very quickly solve these problems, if you ever have an unknown in your denominator of a fraction, all you would have to do is just switch it with whatever's over on the other side of the equal sign over here, right? So I'm going to rewrite this. Take a look. R is equal to 70 divided by 60. Think about what I would have had to have done to get R by itself. I would have had to multiply both sides by R, and then I'd have to divide out 60 on both sides. And this little quick step helps me do that faster. All right, I am going to need a calculator though. Let's take a look. You got 70 divided by 60 is equal to, we'll go with 1.2%. So R is equal to 1.2% growth rate. Let's do problem 2. Problem 2. China's population was 1.28 billion people in 2002. In 2002, 16.47 million babies were born and 8.21 million people died in China. What is China's CBR, CDR, and assuming no migration, what is R? What is its growth rate? So let's go through each one of them. Let's do CBR first. CBR is equal to the number of births divided by the total population. And we multiply that number times 1,000 to standardize that number, because CBR is always out of 1,000 people, and if we didn't multiply it by 1,000 people, then it would be out of billions people or whatever, right? So we're kind of simplifying and standardizing that number as a result. So let's let's write out the numbers. I guess maybe you might be typing them out. I don't know. I do ask that you show your work. Multiplied by 1,000. Yeah, there's probably some shortcuts that we can do in terms of like canceling out some of those zeros, but I'm just going to do it all here in my calculator. All right, 16,470,000 divided by 1,280,000 individuals. And we'll multiply that times 1,000, and we get 12.9. 12.9 is China's CBR in 2002. Let's calculate CDR. We'll do the same process here. That's the deaths per total population. We'll multiply that by 1,000 to standardize that number. CDR is always out of 1,000. Let's go ahead and plug in. Oh, you got to write it out, right? So what was it? 8,210,000 deaths for every 1.28 billion people. Multiply that by 1,000. Let's plug it all into my calculator here. 821, there we go, divided by is equal to times 1,000, and we get 6.4 is China's CDR. And then now the last part of this here, part C of problem 2, asks us to, assuming no integration here, what is China's growth rate? Recall that R is equal to CBR minus CDR. And we divide that number by 10, and think about it, these numbers are out of 1,000, so if we divide it by 10, then the number will be out of 100, which is a percent. So our number will be in a percent, right? It's just a matter of now plugging in the numbers that we calculated prior. let's see, 12.9 minus 6. I might as well just do that just for fun here, just to make sure I get it right. 6.4. Okay. So 6.5 divided by 10, right? Divide by 10 is equal to 0. We'll go with 7% growth rate. All right, looks like you can see that. I almost forgot, right? Don't forget that extra step of dividing it by 10. All right, let's do problem 3 here. Problem 3 is one that asks us to account for migration into and out of a country. So let's take a look. It says Mexico's population continues to grow. It is now the 10th most populated country on Earth, recently knocking Japan out of that position. Mexico now has 130 million people with 2,470,000 deaths, 650,000 births, rather, 650,000 deaths per year. The annual immigration from other countries is 260,000, while the annual emigration is 390,000. So, gosh, what is Mexico's growth rate? And then this turns into a doubling question, right? Because we're dealing with migration here, we've got to account for that with our equation. So, right, think about the inputs that can increase population sizes, births, and immigration. With an I, we'll subtract out what can decrease population sizes. That's deaths. And since we're accounting for migration, that's going to be individuals leaving the country. And all those numbers are out of 1,000. So if we divide them by 10, then we'll have a number that is out of 100, right? And if it's out of 100, then we've got ourselves a percent. All right, so we've got to calculate all of these. Now take a look. We're going to do this 4 times, right? We've got to figure out CBR, I, CDR, and E. All right, so it's just a matter of going through each one of these, right? 2,470,000 divided by 130 million. That's going to be CBR number. Don't forget to multiply it by 1,000, right? What's I going to be? I, it looks like, was 260,000 divided by 130 million. Make sure I get that right. Number, one more zero times 1,000. Gosh, I should have given myself more room. What was I thinking? So that's going to be I, right? I'm sure this is all that much more confusing. I hope it's not. I hope it's not. All right, looks like 650,000 deaths for every 130 million people. Don't forget to multiply that by 1,000 too. And then finally, E is going to be, it looks like, oh gosh, 390,000 divided by that total population size multiplied by 1,000. Okay, can you see it? Looks like we got our setup here. So now it's just a matter of doing the math. And so if you'll excuse me, I'll do this for us. Might take a moment here, so bear with me. All right. I guess you could technically fast forward this 2 divided by. Okay, multiply that by 1,000. That looks right. 19. So CBR is 19. Let's figure out I. That was that 260,000 divided by that total population size. Multiply that by 1,000. We get ourselves 2. That's the inputs, right? Let's get rid of the outputs now. Yeah, 650,000 divided by the total population size. And multiply that by 1,000, you get yourself 5. That's the death rate, CBR, CDR, oh my gosh. Take a look at this. Got that divided by, and boom, multiply that by 1,000 to get yourself 3. Okay, order of operations here, 21 minus 8. This is divided by 10, divided by 10. We've got ourselves 13 divided by 10. So it looks like the population growth rate is going to be 1.3%. Part B of problem 3 asks us, all right, given that percent, that growth rate here, how long before Mexico's population doubles? That's a doubling time question, right? dt is equal to 70 divided by r. R is 1.3. Don't forget for this one, we just drop the percent sign, so it's just 1.3. We'll need a calculator. 70 divided by 1.3 is, go with 54 years. 54 years, and that's how you do problems 1 through 3. Population math practice 2 of 2.